Howdy, Brother John, coming to you from Minnesota, Texas. Today is the 16th of July, 2018. The name of this vlog is Freak Accident Update. Here's the story. Yes, today is Monday. Yesterday was Sunday the 15th. I got a call at 9 a.m. from Darlene, the apartment manager, and she was very upset, very distracted, very disturbed. And because she just got back from the hospital that morning at 7, she had accidentally run into one of the neighbors in the parking lot. And it's a freak situation. I'll describe that in a minute. Well, I'm not describing that. So she was driving eastbound in her little car, and the sun was coming right in the windshield brightly. The neighbor, his name is Blue, her name is Darlene, his name is Blue, was walking west. Obviously, she's going east, and he was looking. Had his when he walks, often he wears headphones and adjusts his volume on his what do you call those things? Not iPhone, but the music thingy. The thing that's just a music player that I'm forgetting. Um, he was adjusting that look down. It hit him on his hip, and he fell, and the side mirror hit him, and he fell down, hit his head, his side, banged his head. He then got up and walked back to his place, which is about a block away, and short had that felt really bad and was bleeding, had a headache. Took him to the hospital. The close by hospital, like 1 mile away, they couldn't run a CAT scan, which is crazy. So they had to transport him to Corsicana, which is much further away, and they released him and said it was just a mild concussion. I saw him this morning briefly. He says he had a really hard time sleeping, sore all over. I told him, and Darlene hadn't asked for much prayer. Darlene's a strong believer. Blue is not a believer. I told this to my small group to pray for him, as an update for them and for others, because it really has her shook up. I saw her a few minutes ago, and she's really emotionally all shook up, of course. I mean, she has the worst day of her whole life. I mean, one thing to run to anybody, but especially Blue, who's been such a friend and such a volunteer and such a help, and so such a remarkable fellow here on the property. And so she talked with the insurance company and the police report, and the police said, well, the guy's walking out in the parking lot instead of on the sidewalk, and so it's not anybody's fault, and medical bills and blah blah and all that kind of stuff. And they just say something about Blue. Interesting. His name. Everybody calls him Blue. No idea what his real name is. I talked to him long ago. He said his father's nickname was Red. I guess his father had red hair, and I think he had red hair, so he couldn't call both of them Red. So we're going to call you, little fellow. So we're going to call him Blue. So all of his life, his name is in Blue. Okay, so not Sam, not Billy, Blue. So there you go. Now, another word about him, context-wise, is that big husky fella, Vietnam veteran, a lot of war stories. From a young age, he was farming and hunting and drank a lot of moonshine. Let's just say that. Really tough fella. Motorcycles, Harley Davidson, motorcycle gangs. Yet he's at least 60. Yeah, he's in mid-60s. This is a seniors facility, so he's got to be at least 55, so probably 60s. So physical recovery, also brain trauma, all that stuff to recover from, asking prayers, and for Darlene, for her mental emotional things. in this moment, I don't know what to say except for the report, and that's how it stands as of right now. I'll know more in a day or two about Blue, how he's feeling, and how she's feeling. I'll get a report about that. But this kind of this prompted me in a couple of ways. One is I could have written all this, but I really felt prompted to make a video. I've made a video like this for a long time, and I've prompted to put the little sailboat up there. I've had that around for a long time, and so I want a little bit of aesthetic. I told somebody yesterday that in high school and college, I did a lot of sailing. Lived in Houston, went to Galveston Bay. I also went to the Bahamas 3 times. Not on that kind of a boat, but I like sailing a lot. If you saw my apartment, that's the most artsy thing in the apartment. I didn't make it, but I got like a yard sale a lot of years ago. So it prompted me to do this. Also, it's got me reflecting, and I'll do an update later next time about how they're doing, etc. But so what's it done to me, right? This is an event. It happened. And so got me thinking about, and I'll get more about this later, about it was so, if, I'll get this more later, if she had come a little bit earlier, a little bit later, or he had come a little earlier, a little later, or if the whole thing had happened 2 months ago, 2 months later, the sun would have been exactly right there. So it's a freak accident. But then you get into the sovereignty of God and problem of evil. Did God cause it? Did the devil cause it? I mean, just the statistical possibilities of that happening, because he's walked this property for 9 years. And he walks 8 times, twice a day for 9 years. That's a lot of times. Oh, the other head side, I walk this property. I've been here 1 year. I walk this property morning and evening, at least once, maybe twice a day. I walk typically 3, 4, 5, 6 laps. He walks always 8, almost always 8. I just watch. I'm tired. He walks because that's in his number. He walk on the parking lot around. I'm going to start to walk on the sidewalk. He's not. He said he's not. I don't know. So there's that. So it changes me because I'm walking on the sidewalk. I was going to think about it's so freaky has happened. Where was it? It's back in 9/11. Where was God in this? And also providentially, a few days before, I sent emails out asking people to converse with me about what's the problem of evil. What's the problem of evil means if God's all powerful and God's all loving, and God has all love and all power and all knowledge, then why is there suffering and evil? Why are there accidents if God could have prevented by just tweaking one of these variables? And so I've been pondering that. It was on my radar, and here this comes. And I want to start a ministry about online prayer. And in that, I want to take things like accidents or illnesses or high school graduation or any major event or weddings or problem pregnancies or how can we think about biblically how to pray for different people in different situations with like a big database of those guidelines. They're not rote prayers, but just what to pray. So I've been thinking about that a lot. And so it's kind of like this how that event impacts me. It's kind of like 9/11 impact other people in different ways. You know, I mean, the Holocaust in different people and A bombs in different people, Hiroshima and Nagasaki. It's kind of like this is how I'm dealing with how I'm processing. So that's what I'm going to say. Shalom.